the one in Canada, would be the size of the state of Florida. That's a strip mine the size of the state of Florida. And they can't expand it to the extent that they want to be able to keep increasing their profits and keep producing oil in the manner that Exxon, who's one of the investors, and the other investors in it, the project wants, so that they can continue to make record profits even in this economy. They can't expand it unless they have a market for it. We're already processing the oil that we need from the tar sands in Oklahoma. They need to get it to the open market so they can sell it to China and India and other places, and they can't get it to the market because they proposed a pipeline from Alberta through Canada to the west coast of their country, and it's been stopped. The BC government just officially stopped it and said that they have too many environmental concerns and they're not going to let it go through. Good for now, but not necessarily a foregone conclusion, because the Prime Minister is like super adamant that this pipeline will go through, or a pipeline will go through. There's also the Gateway pipeline. They're trying to get it to the East Coast. They're trying to get it to the West Coast. Their indigenous cultures have somehow maintained a few more rights than we have given to our indigenous communities, even though we've, like the Lakota, for example, we've told them we have a treaty agreement with them that they are a sovereign nation, yet we can still force a pipeline through their lands, yet we can still enforce our laws on them, even though they are supposed to be a sovereign nation, and that's our treaty agreement with them. In Canada, somehow they still have some laws in place that give their indigenous communities some rights, and the indigenous communities are dead set against these pipelines, the Gateway pipeline and the Enbridge pipeline, and they've also been, unfortunately, as you can expect, suffering the consequences, because some of these indigenous communities live right beneath the Athabasca River Delta and have been suffering cancers and illnesses because of the carcinogens and the toxic tailings ponds that poison the fish and their soils.